Hey folks, Professor Finn here, and today we're going to be looking at Chapter 2 in Ralph Klicker's Funeral Service Psychology and Counseling, Needs of the Bereaved. Let's go ahead and get the screen shared and get started. So, right up front, we have some important definitions that if you are in funeral service, you're going to need to know so we can talk like for like. The first is grief, an emotion or group of emotions caused by loss. We have bereavement, the act or event of loss that results in the experience of grief. So grief is the emotion caused by loss, and bereavement is the act or event that results in the experience of grief. We have mourning, which is an adjustment process that involves grief or sorrow over a period of time and helps in the reorganization of the life of an individual following the loss or death of someone loved. And we have emotions, feelings such as happiness, anger, and grief caused by brain patterns and bodily changes. Now, generally speaking, there are needs associated with all individuals. Not everyone requires them. Some require more than most. Some require less. Any one person might not need all of them, but we do generally need a fair amount of them. The most common needs, again, these are the most common needs that people need, is the first is to confirm the reality of the death. Talking helps by making it real and to understand what happened. This is why people who go through a traumatic event, a death event, they want to talk about it, and they want to talk about it maybe more frequently than people care to admit. Understanding as much as possible about death helps confirm its reality. Deaths due to homicide, accident, or suicide can leave a survivor in a state of confusion as to why and how the death occurred. These type of deaths can lead to a shock that cannot be capable of processing until weeks, months, or even years have passed. People need to express their emotions. First thing here is eliminate cliches. When you use cliches, they usually suppress emotions. Most grievers need to express their emotions. This can differ greatly among people. For some people, it can be crying. For others, it can be just talking quietly. What matters is that they are expressing, and they're expressing in the way that is good for them. Doesn't make any difference how the emotions are expressed. It only matters that they are. Modify emotional ties with the deceased. Grieving survivors must face the reality that their life has changed forever. They must break ties of the old relationship and develop a new relationship without the person. This is now also known as a physical relationship to a spiritual relationship. Another common need is memorializing the person's life. We all want our lives to mean something. Most survivors want to acknowledge how they felt about the deceased and tell others about that person. This explains the need for the funeral and memorial service. These symbolic deeds can be one method of transitioning to the new relationship. So, as I finished my college education, when I was in my grad school, I ended up joining the Freemasons. And I made some great friends in the Freemasons. And unfortunately, an organization like the Freemasons has a lot of older members, and a lot of those members have passed. And it saddens me that a lot of the people that were there that first night when I joined are no longer with us. And what I tend to do, especially for the gentlemen that I were closer to, is when I go back to my old haunts, so to speak, is I stop by the graveyard, pay my respects, say hi, tell them what I've been up to, and then take a picture and throw it on Facebook for the satisfaction of other people who maybe knew that individual. That is the changing of a relationship. I can't just pick up the phone and call. But they were important enough for me that I am going to stop by, say hi. I am going to stop by, give it a little update, maybe leave a flower, leave a coin, leave something, and then be on my way. as is what I have to do as an adult. My responsibilities don't stop, and I can't be locked into the past. And that is one of the ways that I am transitioning away. And going to their memorials, well, gives me a new appreciation for some of those things and other things for me to talk about when I show up there and say, hey, man, I saw you with that mustache. Oh, boy. There are other ways we can memorialize: starting a charity or scholarship, building a wing of a hospital, headstone above the grave. All of these things are memorialization. Recognize unfinished business. Most people have unfinished business with another person. Death obviously can happen unexpectedly, causing complications to this. Most people feel this ends unfinished business. The problem is it doesn't. People need to be shown different ways to complete the business. Talk to the deceased body to wake. Writing the deceased a letter. That's probably one of the most effective ways to finish business, is to simply say what you have to say in a letter, put it with the deceased, cremate it with the deceased, burn it in a fire pit, and send it along the way. Or visualizing the dead person and telling them. A counselor can be helpful in assisting people to recognize, acknowledge, and finish unfinished business. I'm not a licensed mental health therapist. I have no such credentials whatsoever. But that doesn't stop me from recognizing that a person wishes they could say one more thing to their dad one last time. Well, you can. Go into the chapel. Close the door behind you. You're there by yourself. When you're done, just come out or knock or do something. Write them a letter. We'll put it in with them. Write a letter. I'll make sure it's with them when it's cremated. Say what you have to say. No one has to hear you. You just have to say it. And wherever they are, I'm sure they're listening. It is amazing how that simple advice, that simple act of kindness that you are offering, will change the person's entire way of what they are doing and how much that will help them on their journey. Another common need is receiving emotional support. Most people find love and attention given to them by family and friends comforting. Non-judgmental acceptance of people who really care about them helps tremendously. If it's not given by family and friends, it can come from someone like the counselor. Now, there is no substitute for family and friends. When my father passed away, I did not have the benefit of all of my family and much more living friends to come together and grieve him. He outlived a lot of people. But the fact that people that I knew from funeral service, from my education, from my professional endeavors, from the Masons, came to pay their respects and say hi and talk with me, that was extremely comforting. That was extremely, extremely comforting. And it was very nice, and it changed the entire vibe of the room, because we were together from all our different walks, introducing people back and forth, because some of these people might have never met. It was a great experience. And that happened at my dad's wake. This one's an important one. Be assured feelings are normal. One of the most common things you'll hear is survivors think they're going crazy, or something is broken, or something is so weird that it can't possibly be normal. And the truth is, it's actually really, really, really normal. Death is very foreign because of the nature of our society. So a survivor feels they must be going insane because they've never felt that way before, and nobody can be thinking like this. You can assist in relieving the fear and anxiety by assisting them in knowing the responses are natural and normal. Even if they feel the loss isn't major, they don't think it's that bad. They may perceive it as such. And the body is just going to do what the body wants. So they may be rashly thinking, hey, it's really not that bad. And your body's like, want to bet? Hold my beer. Another common need is be accepted for where they're at in the process. No one should be told, get over it. This is not what you should do. This isn't right. A bereaved person needs to be accepted and supported wherever they may be in their grief journey. The less they are supported, the harder it is to get through it. That's simple. A counselor can help a survivor clarify issues that may move them along, but should never tell the person they should be somewhere else. Shouldn't tell them where they should be. Say, hey, maybe you need to write that letter to your dad, huh? Yeah, maybe I should. Can't hurt. Stay right here. I've got some nice stationery and a pen for you. I'll be right back. Would you like a bottle of water, a cup of Coke while you do this? And I'll just sit outside here in the lobby and wait. When you're done, just open the door and hand it to me. Everything I have done there is enabling. Essentially, I don't want to say I'm not giving them a choice, but I'm really not giving them a choice. That, hey, maybe you need to write the letter to your dad. Maybe I should. Okay, so let's do it right now. I got pen, I got paper, it costs you nothing. I'm happy to wait, and I'll wait outside. Oh, I don't want to be, you're not an inconvenience at all. Can I get you something to drink? You know, I just put on some fresh coffee. We got Coke in the back, got some bottles of water. Anything I can get you while you're doing this. Again, enable it. Enable it. Establish stability and security. Death removes security and stability, and grievers may feel out of control. If grievers can meet most of the other common needs, stability and security will slowly return as time passes. Life will not be the same as it was before the death, but their new life, where they're at right now, may become more stable and secure. You never, 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 never get back to where you were before the death, because you are now changed by that experience. But what you can do is become more stable and secure in this new normal where you're at. And provide a basis for building new relationships. One of the ways people fill the void in their life left by a person who died is to strengthen existing relationships and developing new ones. People seem to feel that, oh my God, I love someone less. No. And really, one of the unfortunate things is this is not always easy, simple, or fast. This takes time. You have to process your grief. You have to come to that good place, and then you can start reaching out and expanding and strengthening existing relationships and developing new ones. Death changes everyone. New relationships can be those of friendship, love, or both. In the event of a new relationship, it doesn't mean that you forgot the person who died. A lot of people are going to forget them. No, you don't. But rather, you learn to navigate pathways in relationship building and nurture love for a new person. I've had a lot of people in my family pass away, a lot of very close friends who have passed away. I've met new ones. I've had people step into some of those mentor roles that I've lost mentors on. But it doesn't mean that I don't cherish the memory of those people any less at all. So people need to realize that it is okay. It is okay to change the relationship that you had into a memorial one. They had a profound impact on you, so why would you want to forget them? That simple. All right, folks, that ends chapter 2. We'll see you next video.